Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am back for Follow a Sketch February, and I'm using this pin right here, which is from Stuck Sketches. Lots of little bits of paper here on the side, one photo, big old title, and some journaling. Now I am going to make this a 12 by 12 sketch, and I've got some ideas here, so let's see what I can do. Okay, you guys, I am really excited about this layout. I absolutely love the way it turned out. I was a little nervous about it for a couple reasons. One, this is just the emblem on a Disney trash can, and all of my Disney trash can layouts have been actual trash cans. And two, I was afraid that this was going to turn out and look like some other layouts that I've done before that's been lots of washi tape on them, but it really didn't. I think I pulled in enough of the other stuff so that it looks like it's something pretty new. Now, these things right here were from that Amy Tangerine collection, and I can't remember the name of it, but I actually bought them again because I love pulling them apart. So I pulled it apart, and then I'm going to use it as fringe. And it's one of my favorite things to do with these kind of things, because the fringe is awesome and the lumpiness is a little bit too lumpy for me for my taste. So I have this fringe here, and then what I did just to give it a little bit of interest and to make it look a little bit more organic is to just chop off the very ends just randomly. And I'm using these teeny tiny little scissors from Heidi Swap, but you could use really any scissors. Had to fix my ATG because it keeps rolling in on itself, and it's just the red ATG that does it. My pink one doesn't do it, so there's something funky going on there. And then you can see the fringe has a lot of like texture and stuff there, and it's not anything that is kind of just one solid line. I did use some liquid adhesive because I was using Fun Foam, go me, and go Crystal, because I'm still using some of that Fun Foam that she gave me a while back. I am down to one small sheet of it, and I will be out. But I still have lots of unfun foam left, you guys, so I don't think I'm going to be heading out to purchase a whole bunch of Fun Foam just yet. So that is a Mickey head sticker and the little 6x6 paper pad that I had cut down. And now I am just adding bits and pieces. So my biggest suggestion, if you're thinking about doing a layout like this, if you're not going to follow the sketch exactly, which is what I'm doing, I'm not following the sketch exactly, is to start with your main focus, which is going to be your photo, and then add bits and pieces in and nestle pieces in to figure out where they fit. So you don't want to just start at the top and work all the way down to the bottom. You want to kind of move it around and just really just play with it and kind of putting pieces of ribbon and bits and bobs together, kind of like a puzzle piece. And I really enjoy doing that. This layout for me was a completely fun layout to do because it's just messing with a bunch of supplies and making things fit together and nestle together and come out pretty darn cute. Now I definitely needed to add this Main Street sticker because it is the Main Street USA emblem on the trash can. And I am popping things up on foam squares throughout this layout so that it's not just a flat layout. I didn't want it to look one-dimensional. I didn't want it to look super flat and it not have a bunch of interest. But I wanted my interest to be controlled. So this is my attempt at controlled interest, I guess. Kind of crazy, right? So this is Mickey Mouse ribbon. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. It looks like I started to pray, but I wasn't. Apparently I walked away and didn't pay attention to this layout. So Now, this is another thing that I just want you to be aware of. You can see that the reds all don't match. Like the reds aren't the reds are not perfect. That's basically what I'm trying to get out. There are varying shades of red, and that is okay. Because you want it to coordinate, it doesn't necessarily have to match. So this is some glitter star stickers on a roll, like they're similar to washi, I guess, but it's not really washi. And I'm just placing it up and down the page. So when I say, put your stuff on and put it together like a puzzle piece, if you're going to have repeating elements, put all of those repeating elements on. So as you can see, I put all of my, the paper that was the same together, and then I put the black and white washi tape, and then I put all the stars on. Now this is a sticker banner, and I wasn't exactly sure where it was going to go, but I knew that I wanted to be on this page. I knew that I wanted it to be as an upper layer on top of what I have going on down here with the washi tape and stuff like that. So I decided to pop it up on these little foam squares. Now these foam squares are purchased from Dollar General. I don't have a Dollar General around me, but my super awesome friend Amber gave me this roll when we were at Creativation together, because I said I don't have a Dollar General and it's really sad, and she was like, oh, I have a ton, so here you go, Sandy. And I was like, oh, Amber. So that happened. Like, I think that was the literal conversation, you guys. So it's awesome, and I've probably used half the roll already because they really just are great. They're great size, they're great thickness, they're just great foam rectangles, really, on a roll. Super fun. So I'm popping them up, and I am doing a couple things. So there are some of these that have been popped up on 2 foam squares, some of them 1, and some of them none. And I'm just putting that there. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that there's going to be some string on this layout, but I'm not worrying about it right now. Now this is an acrylic word. It is Explore, and it is from Freckled Fawn. It is an older piece, so I have no idea if it's still available. Probably not. And now I'm just going through this little case of Disney embellishments that I have, that I use to pull out when I work on Disney layouts, and I'm just trying to find some things and fill in some things. So I put the balloons there. I have the 2 epoxy flare from Scrap and Happy Studio. One is stars and one is Mickey heads. So I'm just moving that around. I'm also pulling these tiny words stickers off the Simple Stories sticker sheet, and I'm just kind of layering them up, because while I'm totally okay that there are a lot of just horizontal stripes on this page, I would like them to be a little bit more dimensional, a little bit more fun, as opposed to just like, wow, you've got some stripes on this page. So I am using the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, and this is just to make sure that this stuff on this page actually sticks down. Some of the stuff, the sticky is a little bit old, like that little Mickey head right there. I pulled him up before he totally dried. The chipboard really didn't stick very well. The sticky wasn't very sticky, so I felt like I needed to add a little bit right there. And then I'm making sure to use dry adhesive on my Scrap and Happy Studio epoxy flares. So I decided to put the Mickey head up at the top. I felt like there was a whole bunch of Mickey head going on right there in that corner, and we didn't need that. And now I am using these Echo Park brads, and I'm just popping them through the back of my page. And then I'm being sure to add washi tape on the back of the page, you guys, because I really don't want the tines of brads or staples or anything like that scraping against the other layout that's going to be in the page protector behind it. If you pull out the layout, I don't want any kind of damage to happen, so it just makes me happier to have all those going on. Now, full confession time, some of my earliest layouts that have things poking through aren't washi taped on the back. I noticed that a couple weeks ago when I was looking at some old layouts, and it gave me heart palpitations. So that's going to be a project, is to go through my albums and rewashi and not rewashi tape, but first time ever washi tape the back of some of these layouts. So I am just adding these little sticky rhinestones just in a little bit of places, just to give it a little bit more texture. So I've got like the satiny ribbon, I've got the glittery hearts, I've got chipboard, I've got brads, I've got some epoxy stuff, some enamel stuff. I've got all kinds of good textures and stuff going on here, so it's not just, laying there and you don't have to worry about it. I want it to be fun, because to me, even though there's a lot of texture and there's some lumpy and bumpy on this page, it still feels like a flat layout to me. So I need to make sure that there's enough interest so that you don't look at this and go, that's a flat layout. Now I went ahead and pulled off one of the, what is that called? Foam squares underneath where I doubled it up right there, because it was causing the photo to kind of wrinkle and dip down, and I wanted to avoid that. So now I'm pulling out this jelly bean soup baker's twine, and I'm just running it between my fingernail and my finger to kind of straighten out the kinks. So I'm just loosely going over this, creating some curly cues that are going in either direction. And I just really want it to look like it's a banner. So there is a lot of the top of my head in this video, you guys. Sorry about that. It is just, I guess, the way I scrapbook. Maybe if I actually wore my glasses, I wouldn't have to get my face right up in front of it, but Anyway, there is that. So I am doing a combination of glue dots, liquid adhesive, and staples to get this bad boy to actually stick and be done. Now, the string is kind of going on the front and also the back of the little sticker banner pieces, so it doesn't look like it is banner pieces just hanging down from a string. It just kind of adds a little bit of fun and, like I said, a little bit of interest, because the layout still reads very flat to me. Even with all the fun things on it, it still reads very flat. And I'm okay with that, because I am super happy with how the layout turned out. And I made sure, since this is a very horizontal layout, I made sure that I had vertical elements. So the balloons are a vertical element, that banner up at the top is a vertical element, and even to a point the Viewmaster is a vertical element, even though it does fill a horizontal spot. To a point it's a vertical element, and that works for me. So now I am adding some string in a couple other places, and I just decide to do it right up here at this top, and then I'm going to staple it. And then I'm going to staple it again, because I really didn't staple the entire string when I stapled it the first time. So now I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking I need to add a couple more things. There's a couple little places where a little bit too much white is showing through, and I just want to add some other things. So these are some stickers from Vicky Boutin, and I just make sure to use those all up. And then these chipboard words, tiny words, are also from Freckled Fawn. And these I got in kits from ages and ages ago. And as you can see, I've used a bunch of them up, but I still have a little left. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out where they go. Now, these bad boys do have great sticky on them. So American Crafts could learn a few things from Freckled Fawn and where they used to get their stuff stickered. Really could use that tip. So yeah, now I am just filling these in, and it's just a matter of looking at the page, and if your eye is looking at the page and it's going to a big old blank spot, then you probably should put something in there, unless you want to draw attention to the fact that that is a blank spot. Like on this left side of the page, there is a lot of white, and I'm okay with that because it is supposed to be there. Like, you are supposed to be able to look at that and be like, oh, it's a place for your eye to rest. Now I'm taking these hearts, and honestly don't know if they are freckled fawn or what. They probably are. And I'm just layering these little yellow bits up. And the same thing with the reds is going on with these yellows. All the yellows don't match, but they do coordinate. And you guys, that is going to do it for this layout. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Use the hashtag listed down below if you're participating in any of these sketches. I would love to see what you make, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.